Okay, first, a quick little message. There is no way to compare Sandy with Katrina, because those hurricanes affected different areas of the country, different set of politics, different set of socioeconomic difficulties and disparities. And Sandy and Katrina hit other countries before they hit us. And I think there's a little exhaustion in trying to help other countries like Haiti. And what else did it hit? I think there's a lot of exhaustion in trying to help other countries that are under militarized dictatorship governments. I think there is a lot of exhaustion, not just out of the U.S., but other countries. The U.S. just looks meaner and more like a bully, more like they're racist, which sometimes it is subtle racism that we pull out or don't give as much help. But you kind of, you want to give a lift to people, and then your efforts bite you back in the ass, and you're just like, well, I think that there will be a surprising death toll of Sandy in the U.S. because who's looking for the tunnel people? There are people that lived in the abandoned tunnels of the subway in New York. Is anyone looking for them? Anybody who knows who they are looking for them. And then you have the project-based housings, where it sounds like they shut off a lot of the services without ensuring that everyone had left. And those same places don't have power. A lot of the people that lived in them were not able to go downstairs. That's, there's just a lot of people not knowing where their ass is. And that, and it's proving that people who found themselves in Occupy Wall Street are again finding themselves by doing Occupy Sandy. Very different response, because we don't want a repeat of Katrina, and I think that President Obama has responded in a way that Bush did not respond. Even in the middle of a campaign, he really has done his job as the president. The foibles of red tape in government are always going to be there. That's why a lot of these grassroots organizations and people, nonprofits like Sean King with Hope Mob, and Mark, who is on Twitter as at Hardly Normal, they were the first people I saw on Twitter mobilizing to get the homeless shelters up and running with electricity. Everyone else was all about fixing things for the white people and middle class. And there's the only things that you're seeing in the paper right now are about the displaced people who were already housed. How are they going to fix that? I don't know what New York housing is like, but here in Boston, if you're doubling up or you can't certify yourself as homeless, you're on a waiting list for 5 years. I'm sorry. Nobody should get priority over anyone who has been working with the system to get housing. And it's really, I am going to vote for Obama again. But it's up to us to put pressure on the government to start punishing the banks and lowering the cost of housing. Saying, listen, your property does not have this value. You cannot charge this much for rent. We'll give you a tax break if you start housing the gainfully employed and the homeless who are gainfully employed. We'll give you a tax break if you lower your rents for new doctors in their residency, new teachers who are downsizing their household. I mean, people who work in public service that do not make $50,000 or more when they start working, I know some doctors do make a lot of money, but they probably have twice as much, 2 to 3 times, maybe 4 times their yearly salary in school debt that they have to pay. So this is really, what happened with Katrina and now with Sandy. These hurricanes have been devastating for our country and other countries. It's time for us to really fix some of these barriers to a stable economy, which I'm going to get into with my next bit, about the truth behind welfare, SSDI, SSI, and food stamps.